Hello my dear students, myself Vishwanath Hindupur, working as assistant science teacher in SSBM school. In that one I am going to revise first chapter of your science, that is chemical reaction and equations. In this chapter I am going to revise all the points. What are the points in this chapter? They mentioned. The chapter starts with chemical reaction and chemical equation, then how to balance the chemical equations, then types of chemical reaction. There are 5 types of chemical reactions are there: chemical combination, decomposition, displacement reaction and double displacement reaction, and oxidation reduction reaction. That is nothing but redox reaction is there. So then after the end of the chapter we are going to discuss about corrosion and rancidity. These are all the points we are going to discuss in this chapter. So let us start with this chapter, chemical reaction and equation. So first slide. So chemical reaction. What is meant by chemical reaction? The chemical reaction means in our day-to-day life, what are the changes we observe? The ripening of the fruit is also a chemical reaction. The food what we are preparing, that is also what? A chemical reaction. The thing what we observe after eating the food, it will undergo digestion, that is also chemical reaction. So after all these the things, even our respiration also chemical reaction. So in that one, what is meant by chemical reaction means the process where the reactant get converted into product. The process where the reactant get converted into product with under the influence of any catalyst. Either catalyst is present or absent, it doesn't matter. So chemical reaction is a process where the reactant get converted into product. It converted into what? One product. So it not in the presence of catalyst or in the absence of catalyst, it doesn't matter. So here chemical equations are 2 types are there. In your lower classes you studied in your 8th standard chemical equations. That chemical equations are like that, qualitative and quantitative equations. In your 8th standard, in your lower section, you definitely studied that one. So word equations are qualitative equations. Word equations means they are written. For example, magnesium react with oxygen gives magnesium oxide. That is nothing but what? Qualitative equation. But quantitative, when the word quantitative came, means it should have quantity. How much quantity of magnesium, how much quantity of oxygen react to form how much quantity of magnesium oxide will be formed. So for that reason I am going to explain chemical equation in the beginning. That chemical equations always, for example, here is one chemical equation. So this is qualitative chemical equation. So left hand side, what are the things we are going to write? They all are called as a reactant. The right hand side, what are the things we are going to write? They all are called as a product. So here magnesium react with the oxygen. The magnesium react with the oxygen. So the magnesium oxide is formed. That is the product side. The left hand side is always called as a reactant side. So this is qualitative. Suppose what is meant by quantitative means how much magnesium going to react with oxygen. So one magnesium react with O2 molecule, then it forms MgO. So like that if I write means then it is called as a quantitative equation. So next we will move on to the how to identify the chemical reaction takes place. Suppose someone asks how you are going to say that. So chemical reaction took place. How you are going to say that means, so if the chemical reaction is taken place, then it should have 4 changes. Either it changes its state, the liquid or solid, liquid or gas. In these 3, any change motion should be shown in the states of matter. It may changes to solid to liquid, liquid to gas, gas to solid. Like that changes are there means then only we are going to say that one chemical reaction is taken place. Or else change in the color. Change in the color, for example, you studied in your acid, base and salt chapter, phenolphthalein, colorless to pale pink to colorless. The change in the color also is the indication of the water. There are 4. For example, in the examination, if the question arises for 1 marks, what are the observation you are going to say that the chemical reaction is taken place means you may write among these 4, you may write any 2. Change of state or change of color. One more is there, evolution of gases. Evolution of gases. In the test tube, if I add any solution, if it liberates after the chemical reaction, if it liberates any gas, then it is also indication of the chemical reaction is taken place. Then last one is change in the temperature. The temperature may be decreases, temperature may be increases or decreases. The rise in the temperature is also one of the indication of the what chemical reaction is taken place or not. Then after completion of this one, before going to this one, you studied in your 9th standard, that is what law of conservation of mass. That law of conservation of mass tells that reactant side motion should be equal to product side. In the during chemical reaction, atoms or elements neither be created nor be destroyed. The mass will be equal on the both right side and left side. For that reason, I am going to explain one example, that is the chemical reactions are written. Magnesium react with oxygen. Magnesium react with oxygen. It formed magnesium oxide, but it is not balanced. Why? Because here 2 oxygens are there, here only 1 is there. So for that reason, in the early stage, by taking one example, we are going to explain now how to balance the equation. How to balance the equation. Here is one example I already mentioned. So iron react with water, it forms iron oxide and hydrogen gas. It liberates hydrogen gas. So how to balance the equation? How to balance the equation? As I earlier mentioned, left hand side reactant, right hand side product, right hand side product. So for that reason, the steps involved in the balancing of chemical equation, there are 7 steps they mentioned in your textbook. It may be vary from 7 steps, vary from the depending upon the chemical equation. First we need to put the box for that entire equation. In the examination, if the question given, then put the box for that one. Don't change anything in that one. Here is there. For the example, the given iron react with water, they form Fe3O4 plus H2 is the given question. For this one, you need to put the box. For each and everything, you need to put the water box. After placing the box for these all the things, no need to change anything in that one. So like that box we have to keep. That is the first step of what? Balancing of a chemical equation. Then second step is list out the atom in both the side, LHS side and RHS side. Here I already list out. So in the reactant side, Fe 1 is there, iron, hydrogen 2, oxygen 1. The first step is we need to put the box for each and everything in the both reactant side and product side. The second step is in the reactant side, we need to write how many atoms of element of iron present, 1, hydrogen atom of element 2, oxygen 1. Same, in the same way, so iron present on the product side 3, oxygen present 4, hydrogen present 2. The third step, first step is putting the box for that each and every equation, both reactant and product side. Second step is write down the elements present on reactant side and product side. The third step, students, so third step how it will go means we have to select the highest number in this one. So when we observe this reaction, the number of atoms present highest is oxygen. Let us start with oxygen. Here 4 oxygens are there, here only 1 oxygen is there, so we need to multiply 4 for this one. In the early stage we are multiplied 4. We have to start with the highest number. I have multiplied here 4. Then when I multiply 4, oxygen is balanced, but hydrogen become 8 over 4 2s are 8. Then I multiplied 4 for this one. Then after completion of this one, the remaining thing only iron. Here iron 3 is there, Fe, here 1 is there, so we need to multiply 3 for this one. Then the equation is balanced. Then this is not the completion of the balancing of equation. After writing this one, we need to write the state of matter for each and every reactant and product. For example, iron, we need to write solid. Why? Because iron is solid. Next H2O, then you have to write steam, that is gas. Then Fe3O4, that is rust, again you need to write solid. Then hydrogen gas is liberated, then you have to go for gas for that one. That completes your what? Balancing of chemical equation. Then after completion of balancing of chemical equation, there are 5 types of, as I earlier mentioned in the beginning, so there are 5 types of chemical reaction: combination reaction, decomposition, displacement, double displacement and redox reaction. Redox reaction is a mixture of oxidation and reduction reaction. First we will start with combination reaction. So combination reaction, what is meant by combination? The name itself indicates combination reaction. When two or more elements or compounds combine, they form single product. When two elements, here I have mentioned one example, that is, for example, your water is there. What is water? Water is a mixture of hydrogen and oxygen. When hydrogen react with oxygen, it form only one single product, that is H2O. So that is also one of the best example for water, combination reaction. Hydrogen, mixture of hydrogen and oxygen gives the H2O. So keep one thing in your mind, that is combination reaction means reactant side either two or more will be there, but product side it motion should be a one. Then that type of chemical reactions are known as what? Combination reaction. Here I have taken one example, that is calcium oxide. Calcium oxide react vigorously with water, it forms calcium hydroxide. It forms what? Calcium hydroxide. This is the best example for what? Combination reaction. In this combination reaction, one more thing will come, that is exothermic reaction. As I earlier told that exothermic reaction is the reaction which releases what? Heat energy. During chemical reaction, the motion should release heat. So for example, calcium oxide, when we put that one into water, the reaction itself is vigorous, then it forms calcium hydroxide. Along with calcium hydroxide, it releases heat energy. Even our respiration is also an exothermic reaction. When we take oxygen, it will break the glucose molecule inside the body, it releases carbon dioxide, water vapor. Along with that one, it releases heat. That is also one of the best example for exothermic reaction. Next we will move on to the next chemical reaction, that is types of chemical reaction. In that one, decomposition reaction. Decomposition reaction is exact opposite to the combination reaction. In the combination reaction, as I earlier told that two or more elements or compounds combine, they form only one single product, that is combination reaction. Here only one reactant will be there. Only one reactant that breaks up into, so that breaks up into two or more new product. For example, here ferrous sulfate, 2 molecule of ferrous sulfate, when we heat that one, when we provide some amount of heat for that one, it forms Fe2O3, sulfur dioxide and sulfur trioxide. The three products are formed. Any reaction which breaks down, only one reactant will be present, but two or more products are formed, then it is called as what? Decomposition reaction. In this decomposition reaction, there are three types of decomposition reactions are there. One will be due to heat, thermal decomposition, electrolytic decomposition. Then due to sunlight also it will be breakdown. So one by one we will discuss. So first type of decomposition reaction in this one is the thermal decomposition. In this one, due to heat only, ferrous sulfate breaks down into iron oxide, then sulfur dioxide and sulfur trioxide. The next one, electrolytic decomposition. This diagram maybe arises in your examination for 2 marks. This one, electrolytic decomposition, or we generally call that one as what? Electrolysis. We have to take one mug. In that mug we have to place 2 test tubes. We have to place the test tube inverted direction. In the inverted direction we have to place that test tubes. Then we have to pour water. We have to pour the water in the test tube and have to place 2 carbon electrodes. 2 carbon electrode. Then it is connected to 6-volt battery. One is connected to positive end, another connected to negative end. In this water we need to maintain acidic medium. So for that one we need to add any dilute acids. Here we have to add any dilute acid to maintain the acidic condition of that one. Then it forms in both the side, the bubbles will be formed. One side collected, cathode and anode side will be there. Cathode is a negative side. Cathode is negative side. At the negative side, hydrogen gas will be collected. Why? Because this hydrogen ion is positive. So anode side, anode is positive. Anode side, oxygen gas will be collected. Here one question maybe arises in your exam, that is which gas collected? What is the ratio of the collected gas? Means you have to write 2:1. Why? Because in the water molecule H2 is there, oxygen only 1 is there. So we need to write the 2:1 is the collection of the gas. You may observe here the collection of the hydrogen gas is more when compared to the collection of oxygen gas. Then we will move on to the next type of chemical reaction in that decomposition. First one is thermal decomposition, second one is electrolytic decomposition, the third one is photolysis. So photolysis means due to sunlight, you may observe when we in the watch glass, if we take silver chloride, the sunlight fall onto the silver chloride, it forms, due to sunlight it breaks up into AgCl, breaks up into 2Ag plus Cl2. So this is due to what? Sunlight only it will be takes place. This is also one type of chemical reaction. So for the combination reaction, exothermic reaction is there. So try to remember, for the combination reaction exothermic is there, for decomposition reaction endothermic reaction is there. In that case, when two molecules or atoms combine, they form one product, along with that they releases heat energy. But in this case what happen means, to break down that molecule, to break down that reactant, it need energy. That type of chemical reactions are known as what? Endothermic reaction. The reaction in which they gain the energy, or they takes the energy for the chemical reaction. To continue the chemical reaction or to break the chemical molecule, they require energy. That type of chemical reactions are known as endothermic reaction. They need energy for their chemical reaction. Then we will move on to the next type of chemical reaction, that is third type of chemical reaction, that is displacement reaction. That is what? Displacement reaction. In your school you observe that displacement reaction, that is the more reactive element always displaces the less reactive element. The more reactive element displaces the less reactive element. You may observe in this test tube we have taken copper sulfate solution, CuSO4 we have taken. So for this copper sulfate solution, so we have added iron nail, CuSO4 plus iron means Fe. CuSO4 plus we have added in that one iron nail. So iron is more reactive than copper. Iron is more reactive than copper. When we place iron in this copper sulfate solution, the iron will replace the copper from that solution. Then the solution turns to green. So blue to what? It turns to what? Green color. Then the formation of compound here is iron sulfate. The copper sulfate turns to FeSO4, CuSO4 turns to FeSO4. For that iron nail, the entire copper will be attached. So the reaction in which the more reactive element displaces, or replaces less reactive element, then it is called as what? Displacement reaction. These are the some examples for displacement reaction. As I earlier told that zinc with copper sulfate, it forms zinc sulfate, and copper will be replaced. So copper is replaced by zinc. Why? Because zinc is more reactive than copper. So zinc easily replaces copper. Then aluminium replaces copper. Aluminium is more reactive than copper. Iron easily replaces copper. Lead easily replaces copper. You may observe one thing, copper is in the reactivity series, in metal and non-metal chapter you studied reactivity series. In that reactivity series, copper is less reactive. Copper, silver, gold, they all are what? Less reactive. So that's why these reactive metals are replacing copper easily. In the last reaction also, calcium replaces silver. Why? Because calcium is more reactive. It is the top of the reactivity series. The next one, fourth type of chemical reaction, is double displacement reaction. During double displacement reaction, in the reactant side only, ions will get exchanged. In the reactant side only, here you may observe AgNO3, silver nitrate, it breaks up into Ag plus NO3 minus. Ag plus NO3 minus. NaCl breaks up into Na plus and Cl minus. Here cation, anion formed. Here also cation and anion are formed. The cation and anions will get exchanged. Double displacement in the reaction itself. In the especially reactant side, ions will get exchanged. That is called as what? Double displacement reaction. You may observe the product AgCl. So this ion exchanged to here, NO3 exchanged to this side. So in the reactant side only ions are get exchanged. Then that type of chemical reactions are known as what? Double displacement reaction. Then we will move on to the next redox reaction. Before going to redox reaction, we need to learn So oxidation and reduction, we need to learn oxidation and reduction. We will first discuss what is meant by oxidation and reduction. So what is meant by oxidation? Oxidation itself tells that gaining of oxygen. There are two definitions you may keep in your mind. Oxidation is gaining of oxygen or addition of oxygen, or removal of hydrogen is called as oxidation. Oxidation tells that gaining of oxygen or addition of oxygen or removal of hydrogen is called as oxidation. Reduction means, so addition of hydrogen or removal of oxygen. If you add hydrogen or remove oxygen, then it is called as reduction. So here the combination of the reaction which involves both oxidation and reduction. The simple definition for redox reaction is, you better to write like this. So redox reaction means, in that one only is there redox, RED, reduction, OX, oxidation. The reaction which involves both oxidation and reduction, such reactions are called as what? Redox reaction. You may observe here one thing, that is methane combustible reaction. This one you studied in your carbon and its compound combustion reaction, the first chemical property of carbon. So methane react with oxygen, it forms carbon dioxide and water. Methane burns in the presence of oxygen, then it forms water, carbon dioxide and water. So CH4 is there. When it move to the product side, CH4, there is a removal of hydrogen. In the place of hydrogen, oxygen came, then that is called as oxidation. As I earlier told that oxidation is addition of oxygen or removal of hydrogen. Here to here hydrogen is removed, then it is called as what? Oxidation. Hydrogen is removed, in that one place oxygen came, it is called as oxidation. In the reduction reaction, for this oxygen, for the simple oxygen, hydrogen is added, addition of hydrogen is called as a reduction. So these are the best examples of oxidation and reduction. Below what they mentioned, these are the another three examples of redox reaction. In your textbook they have given zinc or copper, Cu react with O2, copper react with oxygen, it forms copper oxide. So when copper react with oxygen, it forms copper oxide means, so that is oxidation reaction. For the copper, oxygen is added, then it forms copper oxide. So or cupric oxide also, you may call that one as cupric oxide. But the same reaction, for example zinc react with water, so it forms zinc oxide. Zinc react with water, it forms zinc oxide, and hydrogen gas will be liberated. Here same, that zinc react with water is one of the best example for redox reaction. You must and should know which one is oxidized, which one is reduced. Which one is oxidized? Either it gain the oxygen or remove the hydrogen, then it is oxidized itself. Reduced means either it removed the oxygen or gain the hydrogen, then it is called as a reduced thing. Then we will move on to the last bit of the chapter, that is corrosion and rancidity. Among these two, one will be in your exam. This is the one of the important question in this chapter. Corrosion, again corrosion is present in that metal and non-metal chapter also. So before that one you will study that corrosion and rancidity in this chapter only. You may observe here one car in that rust, completely rust over. So train, you may observe, if you not use any metal items for several of years or several of months, they undergo rust. Why they will undergo rust means due to moisture, due to air, due to acid present in that one. So because of these all the things, any metal items will undergo corrosion. The meaning of corrosion means, here only they given metal attacked by the substance like, metals attacked by the substance like moisture, acid, etc. They are said to be corrode. The process is called as what? Corrosion. ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಂದು ಮೆಟಲ್ಗೆ ಏನಾಗಿರಬಹುದು, so any moisture or acid like substance are attacked, then the process is called as corrode. So it may loses its strength, it may loses its color. So corrode means the metal loses its property, either it loses its lustrous property, either it loses its strength, etc. If it loses anything, then that metal is said to be corrosion. So this is one example. Here, black coating on silver. You may use silver articles. The silver article, after using that one, after washing with water, we need to dry that one with the dry cloth. We have to completely wash that one with the dry cloth. Why? Because if any moisture left on that silver, then the silver article turns to black. Silver article turns to black. When the silver article turns to black, that is also called as corrosion. Why? Because the color turns to black. If the color is removed means also, then it is also called as a corrosion. So iron will undergo rust. That is also one of the best example for corrosion. So in India, there are huge amount of waste will be collected in the form of what? Corrosion. Every day we are collecting tons of rusted iron. So then last bit of the chapter is rancidity. What is meant by rancidity? Means the food items, especially the foods which are made from oil or fat. The foods which are made from oil or fat, they undergo oxidation. The food which are made from fat and oil, they undergo oxidation, they become rancid. And their smell and taste will be changes. Then that process is called as rancidity. Rancidity is a process of oxidation of the food items which contain oil or fat. Our best example for this rancidity is the chips packet. The chips packet, you may observe, so chips packets are always flushed with air. Why they flushed with? For example, you may take Lay's. In that one, they completely filled with air. Why they filled with air means that is not an air, that is a nitrogen gas. They flushed with nitrogen gas. Why they flushed with nitrogen gas means when they flushed with nitrogen gas, that completely not allowed to oxidation of that chips. Chips will never undergo oxidation when the nitrogen is present. Here nitrogen gas is act as antioxidant. It not allow the food to undergo rancid. So this is all about your water corrosion and rancidity. Last 1 minute I will recall entire chapter. The chemical reaction and equation chapter maybe arises for 3 or 4 marks. In this chapter maybe arises among 4 types of chemical reactions are there. No, in that 4 types of chemical reaction, any one type of reactions they may arise in your exam. Along with that one, you need to remember one more point, that is combination reaction and decomposition reaction. In that one, exothermic and endothermic reaction, both are separately have to study. Both are the example for what? Combination and decomposition reaction. So you need to study that one. And also one more thing you need to remember in this chapter is the electrolysis of water diagram. You need to practice that diagram. That maybe arises in your examination. Then you need to remember oxidation, reduction. So they may be arises in the MCQ questions, which one is oxidized, which one is reduced, like that. And also you need to study redox reaction and 1 or 2 example for redox reaction. Then balancing of equation also one of the important thing. For 1 marks definitely they arise as balancing of the equation. The balancing of equation is very, very simple. I already explained. Then at the end of the chapter you need to learn corrosion and rancidity. That completes your first chapter, chemical reaction and equation. Thank you students. We will meet in the next class. So students, in the last class we discussed about chemical equation and reaction. So in this class we will discuss one more chapter in the chemistry part, that is periodic classification of element. So in this periodic classification of element, what are the things we are going to study means there are 4 scientists who attempt to classify the elements which are present at that time. So that is the one thing we need to learn. And also we are going to study about trends in valency, trends in atomic size, the trends in metallic nature and non-metallic nature. These things we are going to study in this chapter. And also scientists, what are their merits and what are their demerits, why the laws are failed. So one by one we will discuss in this chapter. Let us start with first one, that is periodic classification of the element. Why we need to classify the element? The thing will arise in your mind. first thing, that is why we need to classify the elements. In the 18th century or in the beginning of 19th century, there are known 56 elements are present. Only 56 elements are known at that time. So why we need to classify the elements when the question will arise us to easy study. The periodic table is made first of all for our convenience. For easy understanding of the elements, we made periodic table. So to know all the elements which are metal, which are non-metal, which are transitional element, which are lanthanides and which are actinides, like that we are separated the periodic. Like that we separated the elements which are present in the periodic table. So first one, classification of the element is more important, as I earlier told that. So for that study of the elements and their properties, as also there the classification become alive in the scientific world. So in this one, the first scientist who suggested or who classified the element means Antony Lavoisier. He is the father of chemistry. Antony Lavoisier is the father of chemistry. He classified the elements in the 1789. So he classified the elements on the basis of metal and non-metal. He made two sides. One is metals and another one is non-metal. But the thing is changed. But the thing is completely changed. Why? Because some of the elements possess both the metal property and non-metal property. That's why this classification is not satisfied. Then next one is earlier attempt. For this one, only 30 elements here are arranged. First scientist who attempt is Dauberiner. So Dauberiner attempt to classify the elements in a one proper manner. Before Dauberiner, in your lower classes you studied, that is named William Prout. William Prout is the scientist who suggested one thing, that is atomic mass is helpful to construct the periodic table. You know what is meant by atomic number and atomic mass, but William Prout suggested atomic mass is helpful to classify the periodic table. By using that one, the Dauberiner is the first scientist who tried to classify the elements in the manner of either increasing order of their atomic mass. In the increasing order of their atomic mass, he tried to arrange the element. He made group of 3 elements. He named that one as triad. What is meant by triad means group of 3 elements. So you may observe in the next slide, that is the group of 3 elements. They must and should possess same or similar chemical property. Here lithium, sodium, potassium, these 3 elements are possess the similar chemical property. They are arranged in the increasing order of their atomic mass. And one more triad he made, calcium, strontium and barium. He also arranged that elements in the increasing order of their atomic mass. You may observe 40, 87, 137, like that. Halogens also he arranged, chlorine, bromine, iodine. These things you may observe in our modern periodic table also. Now also he attempted, but this one is failed completely. We will discuss that one, why it is failed in that one. So what is meant by Dauberiner law of triad means, the question is arise for 2 marks. What state Dauberiner law of triads and give one example means, Dauberiner law of triads states that the group of 3 elements having similar chemical property, they are arranged in the increasing order of their atomic mass, is said to be Dauberiner law of triad. So Dauberiner law of triad, one example you may write chlorine, bromine, iodine, or lithium, sodium, potassium. So this is the group 1 element, that is the group 17 element now in the modern periodic table. Then after completion of this one, why this Dauberiner law of triads is failed means, at that time there are known elements are more than 56 are there. He unable to arrange all the known elements in the triad. In the triad manner, he unable to arrange all the known elements. That is the first drawback, and that's why that Dauberiner law of triads is completely failed. So then after completion of this one, next one is the next scientist who attempt to classify the element is Newland, he suggested one law, that is a Newland octave rule. Newland octave rule. He arranged the element in a such a way that he arranged the element according to music system. In the music system, sa, re, ga, ma, pa, da, ni. After ni again sa will be arises. So by utilizing that sa, re, ga, ma, pa, da, ni, so he made a periodic table. You may observe here. They given sa, re, ga, ma, pa, da, ni. So after the seventh, ni after again sa will come, no. So when the elements are, now we will go to the Newland octave rule. Newland octave rule states that, Newland octave rule states that when the elements are arranged in the increasing order of their atomic mass, when Newland arranged the elements in the increasing order of their atomic mass, after every seventh element, eighth element have the similar property of, eighth element must and should possess the similar property, similar chemical property of the first element. You may observe here, hydrogen, lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon, nitrogen and oxygen. Then fluorine, definitely fluorine has the similar chemical property of hydrogen. Then sodium, sodium has the similar chemical property of lithium. So the statement is simple that eighth element, when the elements are arranged in the increasing order of their atomic mass, eighth element must and should possess the first element similar in the chemical property. Then sulfur after, next chlorine, chlorine, hydrogen, fluorine, these three possess the similar chemical property. By using this one, he made what? Newland octaves. So these are called as what? Newland octaves. Why this one is failed means the law is only, the demerits are there for this law. The law is only apply, only up to apply for smaller elements, that is up to calcium. Up to calcium the law is satisfied. Then further calcium after chromium, titanium, these are not fit in the periodic table. So we will move on to the question maybe arises for what are the drawbacks. The question will be arises for 2 marks. What are the right any 3 drawbacks of Newland octaves means these 3 drawbacks you may write. So as I earlier told that the law of octave applicable only up to calcium. For the smaller atomic elements only it will be applicable. After calcium every 8th element didn't possess the similar property. What is suggested? No law of octave, every 8th element has the similar chemical property of the first one. That law is only applicable up to calcium. Next it not applicable. The next one is this classification is failed to heavier element behind the calcium air arranged according to the Newland of octave. So here some of the, you may observe periodic table here. You may observe here periodic table here. Iron and cobalt, nickel, they have similar chemical property, but he placed very far. Iron resembles means similar. So iron resembles the property of with cobalt and nickel similarly, but they are placed in the 7th group, but these are in the first group. That's why this completely what failed. And also one more drawback of Newland. First drawback is the law is applicable up to calcium only. For the smaller elements it is applicable. The next one, he arranged the element so similar elements are kept very far away. That is one of the second drawback. Then the third drawback is he stated that, or he believed that, Newland believed that there are only 56 elements are exist in the nature, but new elements are started discovered. That's why this law is completely failed. So if they ask the drawbacks of Newland, you better to write these 3 points for 2 marks. Then after that the next scientist who attempt to classify the element is Mendeleev. Mendeleev has huge contribution to the periodic table. The present modern periodic table is there. No, before that one, all the scientists are believed that the Mendeleev's periodic table is the correct one. So he given one statement. Before going to that statement, what type of things used to arrange the or to classify the element means at that time hydrogen and oxygen are the 2 reactive elements. They react with all the elements. Hydrogen and oxygen are the 2 elements. They almost react with all the elements. He made he arranged the elements how they behave with or how they react with hydrogen and oxygen. For example, magnesium. react with only one oxygen, that is MgO. Then calcium also react with only one oxygen, like that he arranged in the one group. Then next one is, for example, hydrogen, so H2O. Then next one is Na2O, then K2O, like that. So how the molecules react with hydrogen and oxygen, by using that one he made the group signed. First of all, Mendeleev is the scientist who arranged the element in the periods and group. So you may observe, so these are the some merits of Mendeleev's periodic table. Before going to this Mendeleev's periodic table, we will go state that Mendeleev's law states that the properties of the elements are periodic functions of their atomic mass, as William Prout suggested, and Daberiner attempted and Newland attempted. How they attempted means, according to the increasing order of their atomic mass, he also arranged the element in the increasing order of their atomic mass only. So the statement is, if the statement arises for 1 mark in the exam, you better to write like this only: state Mendeleev's law. You better to write the properties of the elements are periodic functions of their atomic mass. That much is enough for 1 mark. So what are the merits of the Mendeleev periodic table means, the elements are classified on more fundamental basis of their atomic mass and property. That is one of the merits of Mendeleev's periodic table. And also one very important thing is, he left the vacant places. In in his periodic table. In his periodic table he left vacant places. He named that one as Eka aluminum, Eka boron, Eka silicon, like that he named. Here Eka means EKA. Eka means in Sanskrit 1. So he left the place. If someone asks why you left the place means, without any doubtful, he suggested that definitely some elements exist in that place, still they are not discovered yet. So that type in future, that where he left the vacant places, in that places the elements are discovered. That is also one of his merit. Then he could predict the properties of the elements, which help to discover the new element. Where he left the place more, that helps to what? Discovery of the new element, it will be helpful. Then when he made the periodic table, there are no inert gases like helium, neon, argon, krypton, xenons are not at all discovered at that time. So when the discovery of that element, when they discovered noble gases or inert gases, they not at all disturbed the Mendeleev's periodic table. They kept in the, they placed in the last group. Last group. So he made in his in his periodic table. So but however this one is failed because of two main reasons. You have to keep in your mind two main reasons. What are the drawbacks of Mendeleev's means? The two main reason is, one is isotope, another one is he unable to give the suitable place for hydrogen. Hydrogen resemble the property with chlorine, and also hydrogen has the resemble property with here first group. Why? Because it donate, it is electropositive. That's why he unable to give the place for the position of. So position of hydrogen is not clear because it shows the property similar to metal as well as non-metal. As I earlier told that it will be resemble in the first group, lithium, sodium, and also it has a similar property of halogens like chlorine, fluorine, bromine. That is one of the drawbacks. Second one is the position of isotope of the element is not clear. So you studied about isotopes. Isotope means having same atomic number, different mass number. So because of isotope also, this Mendeleev's periodic table is failed. So most important is, in this case, he arranged the element in the increasing order of their. Atomic mass. That is the one of the thing. Why? Because when we arrange the element in the increasing order of their atomic mass, isotopes are arises. Isotopes, for example, carbon C612, C613, C614, 12, 13, 14. So then we have to arrange, if we arrange the according to increasing order of their atomic mass, we need to arrange carbon 3 times. It is not possible. That is also one of the drawback of Mendeleev's periodic table. So then we will move on to the next one. that is Moseley's periodic table. He is the father of modern periodic table. He made the periodic table. So he is the father of modern periodic table. The statement of this modern periodic law is the same statement what the Mendeleev suggested. The properties of the elements are periodic functions of their atomic mass, what he suggested Mendeleev, but Moseley suggested modern periodic law. The properties of the elements are periodic functions of their atomic number. He arranged the element in such a way that in the increasing order of their atomic number. When he arranged the elements in the increasing order of their atomic number, the one problem is solved, that is what? Hydrogen. So say that one problem is solved, that is isotopes. So isotope is the one of the drawback for Mendeleev. That isotope problem is solved when he arranged the element in the increasing order of their atomic number. Try to remember this one. So properties of the elements are periodic functions of their atomic number is the statement of modern periodic law. So now in the modern periodic table there are 18 groups are there and 7 periods. You may observe 18 groups and 7 periods are there. 18 groups and 7 periods. So we will move on to the next one. What are periods and groups? If the question is arise, means periods are nothing but the horizontal rows. The horizontal rows are called as periods. The horizontal rows like this are there, no? The horizontal rows are called as periods. The vertical columns are called as groups. There are 18 groups. You may observe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up to 18 is there. So 18 groups are there and 7 periods are there. Horizontal rows are period, vertical columns are called as groups. So next, after completion of this one, so modern periodic law, as I earlier mentioned that one. So the statement and the 7 horizontal rows are called as periods and 18 vertical groups are 18 vertical column rows are called as here they mentioned 7 horizontal rows are called as periods, then 18 vertical columns or rows are called as groups. Then so trends in the modern periodic table. What is meant by trend means when we go along the period, you may observe your periodic table. If you go, this one is called as left to right or along the period. You may use the word left to right or along the period, or this one is down the group. Left to right or along the period, down the group. So there are 3 trends. So first we will discuss with valency. So there are 2 things are there, valency and valence. Valence means the number of electrons present in the outermost shell is called as what? Valence electron. If you write, you know that one in 9th standard you studied distribution of electron. So valence electrons are 1, 2, 3, 4. For example, lithium K shell 2, L shell 1. Beryllium K shell 2, M shell L shell 2. Beryllium K shell 2, L shell 3. Carbon K shell 2, L shell 4. Like that, the number of valence electron, not valency, the number of valence electron goes on increases when we move from left side to right side, or along the period valence electron will be increased, but valency. So valency will be, in the beginning it will be increases. Valency means the combining capacity or the number of electrons take part in the chemical reaction is called as valency. So here valency will be in the, it goes on increases, up to here it will be increases 1, 2, 3, 4, then it suddenly decreases 3, 2, 1, 0. Why this 0 came means the noble gases or inert gases are, they are highly unreactive, they never react with anything. So this one is. And what is the trend? Trend along the period, what happened? Valence electron increases, valency in the beginning increases, and then later it will be decreases. In the down the group, you may observe valency will be constant. Down the group valency will be always constant. Why? Because for example, hydrogen K shell, only 1 electron is there, atomic number 1. If I distribute, K shell will get 1 electron. Lithium, atomic number 3, K shell will get 2 electron, L shell will get 1 electron. Again, valence and valency will be what? Same. Sodium, atomic number is 11. If I distribute, K shell 2, L shell 8, then M shell is 1. Again it will be 1. So down the group valency is always constant. Down the group valency is always constant. Then we'll move on to the next one, that is atomic size. So atomic size means the question maybe arises, you must and should know the trend along the period what happened. Definitely they will arise the question in a such a way that they will give 4 elements or 3 elements. They will give 4 or 3 elements, and they will tell you to arrange the element in the increasing order of their atomic size or decreasing order of their atomic size. Like that question definitely will be arises in your exam. In the previous year also, previous year question paper also, they arise the question. So first we'll move on to the atomic size definition. So try to remember the atomic size definition. Atomic size means for the circle, how you will move from the center of the circle to end, we will call that one as radius. We call that one as atomic size or atomic radius. Atomic size or atomic radius. What is the term indicates means atomic size is defined as, atomic size may be defined as the distance between center of the nucleus, distance between center of the nucleus to the what, outermost shell of an electron. Here to here distance, center of the nucleus to the outermost shell of an isolated atom is called as what, atomic size or atomic radius. But atomic size what happen means along the period, when we move from left side to right side of the period, atomic size always decreases. I will show one photo. In this photo you may observe how the atomic size is decreased. You may observe the size of the atom when we go from left side to right side of the periodic table, the atomic size of the will be goes on decreases. Forget about this lanthanide and actinides. The question will be not arises up to here. They may be arises up to 20 or 30. So atomic size when we move from left side to right side or along the period, atomic size goes on decreases, and down the group you may observe atomic size or atomic radius will goes on increases. So why this will be happen? The atomic size definition. Atomic size means the distance between center of the nucleus to the outermost shell of an isolated atom is called as atomic size. Atomic size trend is when we move from left side to right side along the period, the atomic size decreases. Down the group atomic size increases. Why this will be happen? Atomic size why decreases along the period if the question arises? Atomic size decreases because when we move from left side to right side, there is no increase in the shell. So for example, if we take for lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon like that, so only increase in the electron. Only increase in the electron, there is no increase in the shell. When increase in the electron, the nucleus will shrink or nucleus will pull the electron towards themselves. So when the charge increases, the shell size will become what? Smaller and smaller. For lithium, outermost electron only 1 is there. So the size is somewhat more as compared to beryllium. Beryllium outermost electrons are 2. So the size will be when the 2 electrons over, then the nucleus will pull the electron towards themselves or itself. When the nucleus pull the electron towards itself, then the size will become shrink. So like that, when the number of electrons increases, then the size of the atom will be goes on decreases. But down the group why increases means the students, the down the group what happen means the number of shell will be goes on increases. For hydrogen only 1 shell, K shell. For next element you may observe for lithium, down the group first element is hydrogen, second element is lithium. For lithium what happen means it will be decreases. Lithium, so sorry, lithium will be increases because 2 shell, K shell and M shell. For this one K, L, M shell for sodium. Then calcium, sorry, potassium, K, L, M, N shell. The down the group shell will be increases. That is the reason. So students, what we discussed is the trends. In the trend, valency completed, valency along the period what happen? Increases. Valence electron will be increases. Valency will be in the beginning increases, then later it will be decreases. But valency down the group constant, the trend. Then second trend, atomic size. Atomic trend, atomic size is the point. Atomic size means definition we studied, the center of the nucleus to the outermost shell of an isolated atom. Then after completion of that atomic size definition, we came to the trend. along the period decreases, down the group increases. Why increases, why decreases means I already told that point also. Now we'll move on to the metallic property. So what is meant by metallic property means the metal, when we call that one as metal means if they have the ability to donate the electron, if they are ready to donate the electron, then those elements donate their electron, definitely they convert it into metal. The elements who donate their electron, so those metals who gain the electron, they are called as a non-metal. The elements which are ready to donate the electron, when they donate the electron, they definitely get the positive charge on them. You studied in your 9th standard, when they donate the electron, they get the positive charge. If they donate one electron, they will get 1 plus 1, Na plus 1. Why Mg2 plus means they donated 2 electron. Al 3 plus, they donated 3 electron. You studied in your 9th standard why they will donate the electron. Why they will donate the electron means to become stable, to get the octet structure or to get the completely filled electronic configuration structure, they donate the what? Electron. So next, electronegativity. So electropositivity, after then next thing will be, so electronegativity. Here metallic property trend is same as we studied for atomic size. So along the period, electropositivity or metallic property, both are same. Why? Because if they donate the electron, then it is a metallic property. So when we move from left side to right side of the periodic table, and we move from left to right side of the periodic table, metallic property will be what? Metallic property will be goes on decreases. Why? Because that side, most of the right side of the periodic table, we may observe only non-metals are present. They are not ready to donate the electron, they are always ready to gain the electron. Metallic property goes on decreases, but down the group the metallic property will be increases. Down the group what happen? Metallic property will be increases. Then next one is, you may observe here metallic property. So metallic property like this, it will be decreases, but down the group metallic property will be increases. They may arise the question, metallic property or electropositivity, both are nothing but same. Then the last bit of this one is non-metallic property. So some elements tend to gain the electron while forming the bond. They are called as what? Non-metals, or they will get the what? Negative charge on them. For example, sulfur, we call that one as -2. Sulfur are 2 minus, oxygen 2 minus. Why oxygen 2 minus means in their outermost shell, oxygen atomic number 8, if I arrange that one or if I distribute the electron, K shell will get 2 electron, L shell will get 6 electron. 2 more electrons are left, or 2 more electrons are required to become octet structure. So then it will ready to gain the 2 electrons. That's why it gain O2 minus, it always ready to gain the electron. That's why it is a non-metal. So here sulfur, almost right side of the periodic table, what we are going to study, so halogen family. So completely fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine, what we are in that right side of the periodic tables are there, they are almost all what? Non-metals only. So non-metal property along the period, that side non-metals are there, in the beginning left side metals are there, along the period non-metallic property will be, what happen means non-metallic property along the period increases. It exactly vice versa. For electropositivity along the period decreases. For electronegativity or non-metallic nature along the period what happen? Increases. Along the period non-metallic nature or electronegativity will be increases. Down the group it will be decreases. Down the group it will be decreases. So electronegativity along the period what happen? Increases. Down the group what happen? Decreases. So the next one, this is the chart, you need to memorize these things, or it better to keep in your mind. Atomic size across the period, that is along the period, left to right decreases, down the group atomic size increases. Electropositivity along the period decreases, down the group electropositivity increases. So electropositivity and metallic nature both are same, as I earlier told that. Then electronegativity and non-metallic nature also same. So this completes your chapter, the periodic classification of element. So before conclusion of this chapter, you need to, at least for 3 to 4 marks, this chapter maybe arises in your exam. Try to remember modern periodic law statement and Mendeleev's statement, Dauber inner law, then octave law. why the laws are failed. You must and should know, and especially Mendeleev's achievements or merits of Mendeleev or achievements of the Mendeleev, you must and should know that thing. The question maybe arises for 2 or 3 marks. So here one thing, for the Dobereiner law of traits, he given one statement, that is sum of second element, sum of first and last element divided by 2 atomic mass is always the middle element atomic mass. Sum of first and last element atomic mass divided by 2 will always use the middle element atomic mass. That point I left in this case. So just now I record that one. So after completion of that one, and also you must and should know trends in this chapter. Along the period what happened and down the group what happened. Thank you my dear students. We will meet in the next class.